pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Great job.
So take a look at your parents. They're going to take a picture, okay? So scooch on in. It's okay, go ahead.
Right there. Turn around. Get your certificate. We got bags for you. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Great job. Everybody get your bags. Thank you. And here you go.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Awesome job. Thank you. All right. Amazing job. Thank you.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Publics Meeting Act has been given by the City Clerk on December 12, 2025 in the following manner. Posting written notice on the official bulletin board of the lobby of City Hall, providing written notice to the offices of the Daily Journal, Press of Atlantic City, and the Vineland Voice, and filing written notice in the office of the City Clerk of the City of Vineland. Mr. President, I present resolution number 2025-632, a resolution recognizing Alan Pagnini upon retiring from public service effective January 1, 2026, and approving the transfer of Vineland Police duty weapon in recognition of years of service with the Vineland Police Department.
Chair entertains a motion that resolution number 2025-632 be adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes. Alan, come forward, please. I'll read the resolution into the record. Whereas Alan Pagnini began his career with the City of Vineland on September 21st, 1997, and whereas Alan has furthered the city's mission by providing valuable public service to the Vineland community, whereas Alan has earned the respect and confidence of his coworkers and employer throughout his many years of faithful service, and whereas Alan Pagnini has earned a well-deserved retirement from the City of Vineland effective January 1, 2026, ending his public service career in the police department as police captain, and whereas in recognition of service to the city and its residents, the mayor, city council, and the Vineland Police Department intend upon presenting Captain Pagnini his service weapon. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the City of Vineland extend their sincere thanks and appreciation to Alan Pagnini for a career of loyal and meritorious service, with best wishes for many years of health and happiness. Be it further resolved that the service weapon of Captain Pagnini be presented to him in recognition of his faithful service to the community and Vineland Police Department upon submission of all documents required to legally transfer to him said weapon. Alan, congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Edwin Alisi. I'm the Director of Public Safety for the Vineland Police Department. Since Mayor Fanucci have come into office, he made it a tradition to present the officers that retire with a thin blue line flag, which is a symbol of our profession. Thank you. Obviously, the line, the thin blue line means he's the protector between chaos and peace. And he He served well. He did a really good job for us. He's retiring as a captain. You should leave here with your head held high. A little side note, though. Not 3 minutes ago, I referred to him as captain because that's the rank that he earned. He goes, no, I am Mr. Pagnini. Okay? I get it. So good luck to you. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Alan, the floor is yours.
And a little pin that I wear very proudly. It says retired on it. Good job.
Thank you, sir. I'll keep this short and sweet. I just want to thank everyone who's helped me along in this journey. My wife, my family, my friends. Anyone who has been there and done this job knows that it has its sacrifices, but it is more than worth it in the long run. Thank you.
Mr. President, I present Resolution 2025-633, a resolution recognizing Alberto Rosario upon retiring from public service effective January 1, 2026, and approving the transfer of Vineland Police duty weapon in recognition of years of service with the Vineland Police Department.
Chair entertains a motion that resolution number 2025-633 be adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Discussion. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes. Officer Rosario is not here. He has a resolution that read exactly like Captain Pagnini's did, and he will be presented the same paraphernalia and also receive his duty weapon. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chair, I entertain a motion that the pre-meeting conference and the regular meeting of December 23rd, 2025, and work session closed meeting of January 6th, 2026 be approved as submitted.
So move. Second.
Discussion. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes. Please turn to page 7.
Turn to page 7. I present ordinance number 2025-96, ordinance denying an application to amend ordinance 2004-25 as amended, entitled an ordinance adopting the Center City redevelopment plan consistent with resolution 5203 of the Planning Board of the City of Vineland, so as to deny an amendment to block 4003 lot 21 consistent with resolution 6738 of the Planning Board, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-96 be taken up for a public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes. This time, if someone from the audience would like to speak, I understand attorney's here. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much to the council. Attorney Matthew Robinson. Appearing on behalf of the applicant, Cherry Group LLC, I don't want to take up too much time. In the packet, the board has seen the recommendation, the council has seen from the planning board the recommendation for 2025-96 to deny the application submitted by my client. A relatively small application. I thought it would be appropriate to advocate on behalf of my client to demonstrate to the board this is a relatively benign request. We made some progress trying to cooperate and coordinate with the planning department, but ultimately this council retains jurisdiction to make the final decision. We would ask this council to reconsider the recommendation from the planning board, whether that looks as if it's to be tabled tonight so it can be studied more closely, or if it's an outright approval of the request from my client. Very quickly, to summarize, this is a property at 704 East Elmer Street, owned by the Cherry Group. This property is already a triplex. There are 2 units on the first floor. There is a unit on the second floor. Currently, for the last 13 or so years and 3 owners, the first floor has been completely vacant. It's commercial. It's abandoned. It's been not able to be successfully marketed through multiple owners, multiple realtors. my client's request to the planning board is very simply allow us to utilize the ground floor also for residential if that'll help the marketability. Specifically, while the property can hold much more in terms of bedroom count, we're simply asking for a 1-bedroom in the rear bottom portion, a 2-bedroom in the front bottom portion. The upstairs is residential, it's been residential, and that's not part of the application. We found this to be a very simple request, given that, as I mentioned, the property being vacant for so long and proving to be an unsuccessful commercial location. This is also a property that could easily support the bedroom count that I'm providing as under RSIS standards, under parking standards, but under common sense. Having an active commercial business with people coming and going would be a higher usage, a higher intensity site than a simple 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom on the downstairs floor. The denial from the planning board was as a result of traffic and parking concerns. I question that, frankly, and I think that the application speaks for itself in what it's asking, and we can use common sense to decide which would actually be a more intense use. Given the fact that it's been vacant for so long, given the fact that it's already a triplex, we're not adding more units, we're not adding more density, we think that this is an appropriate request to allow someone who is putting money and investing into this property to actually be successful after 13 years of some failures by previous owners. Without that, I suspect this property will just remain vacant and a blight to the city. We're seeking just some flexibility from the planning board.
Anything else?
I have nothing further. My client is here with me, but again, this is just for comment tonight.
Okay. Rick, anything?
I just wanted to notify council that because this was a resolution recommending a denial to the application, any action by council to disagree with the resolution of the planning board would have to, every member who votes against that would have to place upon the record their reasons for not agreeing with the planning board. I just wanted to put that to your attention. In the event you agree with Mr. Robinson, your reasons for doing that.
Anybody else? Anything here? Okay, we will entertain, we'll close that portion. Chair will entertain a motion, public hearing on ordinance number 2025 be closed.
So move. Second?
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas? Yes. Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-96 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second?
Discussion. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas? Yes. Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-96, ordinance denying an application to amend ordinance 2004-25 as amended entitled Ordinance Adopting the Center City Redevelopment Plan, consistent with Resolution 5203 of the Planning Board of the City of Vineland, so as to deny an amendment to Block 4003, Lot 21, consistent with Resolution 6738 of the Planning Board. With a vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Move to the general public comment portion.
Public comment provides an opportunity for members of the public to inform the governing body about their views. The governing body prescribes the City Council's bylaws and New Jersey statutes on open public meetings when engaging during public comment. As such, each individual shall have a 5-minute time limit, cannot yield time to another individual, may only approach the podium once during public comment for any one topic. Vulgar offensive language is prohibited, and City Council will not engage in dialogue with the public during this time. The governing body maintains model courtesy and respect and requires the members of the public to do the same.
You have a list, Rich?
Yeah. The list for public comment. First up, I have Elora Malat, followed by Sergio Sanchez Cabdero.
Please state your name and the municipality where you live.
Name is Elora Mallet, and I live in Vineland. I'm pretty sure you are probably tired of hearing about our complaints about the AI data center. They are not without warrant. And to which I must ask you again the same thing I asked you last month when I was here. Where does your loyalty lie? Does it lie with the corporation that is behind this AI data center, or does it lie with the people of Vineland, your constituents? Does it lie with the money that is lining some of your pockets, or does it lie with the public in this town?
Ma'am, accusations that are unproven do not make. It's a liability lawsuit if it continues.
Like I said, where does your loyalty lie then? Does it lie to this AI data center that you're so eager to seem to want to get built? Or does it lie to the surrounding environment on Lincoln? Does it lie with the people in charge of this project, or does it lie to the people of this city? Because like I told you last time, you want this AI data center built that badly, then I don't think any of you are winning re-election for your term when your terms are up. I told you this last month, and I'm telling you again. Because there is nothing that comes good with AI, as if I remember correctly, Mr. English tried to bring up. Try to see the good in AI. Fun fact, there is none. Because this is more draining on the environment. The grid cannot handle the load. We've tried to get it through your thick skulls about this. And I'm telling you, there is much better use of that area instead of some data center that is draining on the environmental resources surrounding it, that is impacting the surrounding area, especially with 337 generators are generating enough noise to disturb people's sleeps. I am still convinced you have not gone through the proper procedures, not enough environmental studies of impact on the current grid, not without help from maybe Atlantic City Electric or PG&E for help with maintaining the power load. I still think this AI data center is a bad move overall, and there is a much better use of both money and resources instead of something that is stealing people's ideas, music, voice, art, illustrations, written stuff. There is no good use of AI in this case. You can try to convince yourselves and us of that, but we all know the truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sergio Sanchez, followed by Avery Iveson.
Please state your name and where you live, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Sergio Sanchez. I am a Vineland resident, have been a Vineland resident for about 10 years of my life. I came to talk about the data center. Honestly speaking, I am a Vineland High School resident as well. I got a fair opportunity. I got a fair opportunity with the labor union to have fair wages, have great benefits through the labor union to get an opportunity to have local jobs, right? It is insane to me that we as a labor union have not been able to talk to anybody. Nobody wants to talk to us. Nobody wants to give us answers. We have done office visits. We have made calls. We have done absolutely everything. On the third row right there, we have members, Vineland residents, as well as Cumberland County residents, right? They would love to have a fair opportunity to get good wages, benefits in Vineland, right? And this starts with this project, right? I understand everybody else's concerns on this project, but I feel like I got a great opportunity to have great wages, right? And fair opportunity to be on the project as well as these members deserve, right? We ask for your guys' help again, right? If we could get to the table, talk to somebody, so we could have fair representation for our membership on this construction project. I thank you guys for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Avery Iveson, followed by Jenna Hewlett-Williams.
Please state your name and where you live.
Avery Iveson. I live here in Vineland. I would like to make the council aware of my deep disappointment in them and the other leaders of the city. When I spoke at the council meeting on December 23rd, I left with the hope that after hearing mine and the majority of the city's concerns and statements about the AI data center, that you would listen to us and vote no on approving further construction, only to find that you still voted yes. I, along with multiple people I know, are now accelerating our plans to move out of Vineland because of the ramifications that this data center will have on our community. People that would not necessarily consider moving out of our hometown. It is already noisy to the point that we are not able to sleep, and it is only going to get louder. How loud will it be when it is 17.3 times bigger than it already is now? Because of your decision, property values will lower, possibly even tank. Tax revenue will be lost. Already strained aquifers will dry up. Animals will lose their habitats. Jobs will be hurt, air will be polluted, and your citizens will have extra bills to pay on already strained budgets. I have nothing left to say, except that there is still time for you to change your minds and stop this. And I hope that you find in your hearts the decency to listen to us and our concerns before saying yes to money for technology, which, like Grok, is being used to generate child pornography. Have the day you deserve.
Thank you.
Jenna Hewlett-Williams, followed by Roger Merle.
State your name, please, and where you live.
Hi, Council. My name is Jenna Hewlett-Williams, and I was born and raised in Millville, but I've since made Vineland my home for the past 7 years. I'm here to talk about the data center, but more specifically, ordinance number 2026-3 regarding the pilot program being proposed for Data One, but first I do have some notes. At this point, I know that everyone's tired of hearing about the data center, but frankly, I do not care. So many of us in this room waiting outside, watching from home, from counties all up and down New Jersey, as well as folks across the country, have lost sleep over this. I am not kidding. This room is filled with people who are doing their homework, which includes connecting with people in Arizona, in Indiana, in Tennessee, etc., trying to all work together to get this disaster of an industry to stop wreaking havoc on our communities. All eyes are on data center development right now because of one specific trend: the lack of transparency and support from local government and from the developers of these massive data factories. We've heard that this specific data factory will be sustainable, have a closed-loop cooling system, yada, 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 but if that's all true, why didn't anyone lead with that? Why has there been so much secrecy? Why can't we just have our questions answered? And why couldn't we vote on such a massive project, or at the very least, be convinced by our elected officials that it would be a good idea? Instead, we are ignored and patronized and get zero answers. Some of us have even been called names by council and by state senators. Last council meeting, we were basically told, in actually a lot of words, that this is a done deal and we can shut up now. Sorry, not sorry, but we put you in these seats. The planning board and the zoning board are not elected officials, but you are. The very least you can do is spend your Tuesday evenings with the people who gave you your jobs. Also, sorry, not sorry, but we are going to hold you accountable for doing your jobs, because it seems like our concerns don't mean anything to you. Back to the ordinance up for first reading tonight. Did you do the math on this? We did. Did you know that if Data One were paying normal property taxes like the rest of us, they'd be paying over $844,000 into the school system and over $1 million to the county? Voting yes on this ordinance means taking away over $844,000 from the kids in our school system. That also translates to roughly 14 teacher salaries. Please enlighten me on what a better use of these funds would be, or why a company investing in a $19 billion with a B dollar project needs tax breaks at all. One more time for the people in the back. Not only are we welcoming this project into our city with open arms to use all of our resources, pollute our air, drive us crazy with noise, and make the nighttime sky bright as day, but we are also taking money from the kids and from the poorest county in the state. $844,000 from our schools. Didn't almost all of you previously serve on the school board? Don't you all have children and or grandchildren? Regardless of whether or not they attend Vineland Public Schools, I would imagine that you want better for the future generations and for the people who teach them. But what do I know? I'm not an educator myself, but I am a mother, and I am angry. And I stand here today in solidarity with all of the other mothers and fathers and Republicans and Democrats and socialists and millennials and teenagers and retirees who are also angry. We may disagree on many things, but we are unified, and we feel like our city has failed us. Please vote no against this pilot program and show us that there's still a flicker of hope that you haven't completely lost your way. Otherwise, I'm going to start a running tally of all of the corporate welfare that has gone toward this project, because I'd like to know the exact dollar amount that our city officials sold their souls for. Thank you.
Roger Merle, followed by Kate Delaney.
Please, and where you live.
Roger Merle, yes, please. Then Kate Delaney.
Roger Merle. I'm currently living in Malaga. To answer the question of whose side are you on, there's an article in today's Guardian, a British paper that I strongly advise people read, entitled, "Wildly Loathed Data Centers See Little Political Opposition." What that means is it's basically an article about why public officials, such as those assembled here, will consistently side with development projects, against the will of the people they supposedly represent. I advise everyone to go to The Guardian, look up widely loathed data centers, and find out why. Second point I would like to address is that activism does work. It takes time, takes effort, can be draining, but in the long run, it'll work. And to illustrate, in the past 2 years, 2023, 2024, and up to the present, 25 data centers have been canceled by public protest. 25. The amount of the financial cost to investors is estimated to be between 64 and 68 billion. That's money down the drain. I do not see any benefit, any analysis that says the data center is going to be an asset for this county or this city, no more than the prisons were for Millville, no more than the Arts District was for Millville, no more than the Motorsports Park is for Millville. One other point I would like to address to the union members. First time I did an honest day's work, I was 14 picking weeds for a landscaper. At the end of that day, I became an advocate of unions for life. At the end of the week, when I got my first paycheck, I became a socialist for life. My message to the union is, yes, you need the work, you deserve the work. There should not be any scab contracting by any public entity. The problem is there are a lot better projects that need more desperately to be done than building a data center for a bunch of billionaires who are doing nothing more than economically colonizing something for their own profit and does not benefit us at all. Again, we have to understand the days of America being a democratic republic are over, and they've been over for a long time. We are a capitalist autocracy. billionaires, corporations own everything. As far as I'm concerned, the Democratic Party is little more than a wholly owned and operated subsidiary of Wall Street, and the Republican Party is nothing more than a cult of dysfunctional personalities paid for by billionaires. Rant for one night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kate Delaney, followed by Katrina Lampropoulos.
Please state your name, where you live.
Kate Delaney, Collingswood, New Jersey. Good evening, Vineland Council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here tonight. My name is Kate Delaney, and I'm the South Jersey organizer for New Jersey Food and Water Watch. Last month, I was in attendance when 41 community members testified in opposition to a resolution loaning the company behind the proposed data center, Data One, $6 million. I guess I'm a hopeful person because listening to the public speak so passionately and eloquently, I thought that perhaps you would pump the brakes and not award the public's money to this corporate actor. Watching you do otherwise was pretty galling. Now tonight, you are also voting to give more of the public's money to a major corporation via tax abatement. If you give a pilot to this company, you're doing two things. First, you are forcing residents to shoulder a higher tax burden. And you are doing this at a time when so many South Jerseyans are struggling with soaring energy, housing, food, and healthcare costs. Secondly, you are shortchanging your public schools who will not be part of this agreement. You just heard from Jenna about the numbers involved and what this means for the schools and the teachers that these dollars could be hiring. According to the Office of the New Jersey State Comptroller, tax abatements result in, quote, significant foregone revenue and introduce tax inequities. You just heard from a resident who asked you where your loyalties lie. I think this is a very fair question. And your decisions on this pilot tonight to Data One will answer that question. Do the right thing. Vote no on this act of corporate welfare and act in the best interest of your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Katrina Lampropoulos, followed by Deborah Harton.
Please state your name and where you live.
Hi, good evening. It's Katina Lampropoulos, and I live here in Vineland. I'm a lifelong resident, a mom of two, and a teacher here in Vineland. After marrying, my husband and I considered other towns to settle down in, but we ultimately decided to continue our roots here in Vineland as we raise our small yet growing family. We chose to stay here due to its positive growth, schools, diversity, and open land. We are always thinking ahead for our children's future, and we were so pleased with what Vineland offers. However, I feel like everything has changed so much recently. Only a month ago, I found out about the massive AI building, Data One, that will take over 2.6 million square feet of our town. In this short amount of time, I have learned through research about the impact of AI centers and the sustainability and costs of energy and water within communities. Specifically for Vineland, I have also learned how we are investing $6 million of taxpayer money towards Data One, giving a large tax break and possibly a pilot program that will, after a 5-year period, end up taking away over $800,000 worth of tax money from our schools. I am honestly insulted as a taxpayer and community member that all this information was not forthcoming and that we are investing our money into cranes instead of something that would benefit our community further or even produce more revenue. Above all these things, however, is a concern of lasting health effects for Vineland citizens, especially for my students and my children. Even with its energy plans, there are still a lot of unknowns, and air and water pollution could be a major issue 5, 10, 15 years from now. And if there is a study done, hopefully it will be independent and non-biased, and that we will be informed of the findings and future projections. This is the question I want to leave you all here with tonight. Imagine your children or grandchildren living down the road of this massive center. Would you feel comfortable? Please reflect on what the future will bring with Data One and how it is already woven into our community, financially and environmentally. Please reflect on your responsibility as a leader in this community and make sure you hold Data One, other leaders, and yourselves accountable for something this new, this large, and this powerful. I hope your future decisions will benefit the majority of this community instead of the few, and I hope the future information will be handled more forthright. Vineland residents deserve this. Our children deserve this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deborah Hartman. Deborah Hartman.
Please state your name, where you live.
Deborah Hartman, and I'm from Galloway Township. Sorry. Yeah, I'm from Galloway. And, you know, recently I took a trip to Canada because they were due to cull 330 healthy ostriches on a farm, Universal Ostrich Farm, okay? And the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, nobody could figure out why they would do that. And in fact, they're culling everything that they get a chance to. Turkeys, chickens, destroying farms all over Canada, right? And we're trying to figure out why that is. Well, because they want to build these data centers all over. And you can't have a farm and a data center because the farm's not going to have any water. Plus, they got lab-grown meat, and now they have the mung bean that's going to be our eggs, but it doesn't have cholesterol, so it's really not good for your brain. So, you know, data centers are going to be really popular in Canada because it's cooler, and they don't need as much water to cool them in Canada. So, anyway, so as far as local zoning authorities, you understand the character and needs of your people, your communities, to maintain safety and infrastructure and protect neighborhoods and things like that, okay? So right now there's WT docket number 25276, which is proposed by the FCC. That would strip away virtually all remaining power over cell towers and antennas from local governments and fast-track 5G deployment into every neighborhood across the country. If these rules are adopted, cell towers and antennas will pop up everywhere, even right next to our homes and children's schools. We need your help now to tell the FCC these proposed rules are a no-go. They're going to put antennas up every 400 to 750 feet. The digital control grid is already up. If you look at your poles and the lines, the digital control grid is there. So all they need to do is come in and put up these antennas. And if this goes through with the FCC, you will not have a job because you won't be able to protect any of the people in your town, in your country. There's a lot of people that are sick from EMF radiation. There's, you know, Robert F. Kennedy in 2021 had a case against the FCC. And they had 11,000 pages of incident from people that they can't live in their homes. They have to go sit in their car because it makes them feel better, or they get headaches or whatever. So it's just a very dangerous thing. And they were talking to going to 6G, you know. So it's just not a good thing. It needs to be stopped before it goes along. And I don't know how many Trump fans we have here, and I don't want to make anybody mad, but he just signed an EO on December 11th that would give the AI infrastructure free rein because he doesn't want people to have to, you know, go and fight against the AI, or he doesn't want them to be able to fight against the AI. He wants everything to be fast-tracked to, you know, to AI. So I don't know, we need to fight for our children too. And I'm not a public speaker, so I don't do very well, but I did send an email to you all with the information.
Got it. We got it.
So let's stop the FCC from having free reign and putting up these antennas everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak publicly that hasn't signed the form?
Please state your name and where you live.
My name is Trista Cleaves, and I live in Vineland. Good evening. I really hope that you listen to everybody because you've heard from parents and teachers and people that are part of unions that are within your community. I really hope that you pay attention to that. And now you have someone who is of the younger generation that will take over. So I live within a 2-mile radius from the Data One USA Center. My life, along with yours and everyone else in this room, is affected by this. No one is exempt from this natural progression. It may seem insignificant to those not apprised to the sheer volume of damage caused by data centers like this one. And according to the Environmental and Energy Study Institute, large data centers, just like this one in Vineland, consume 5 million gallons of water per day. With the circulation process, they go through 5 million gallons of water per day. Along with that, carbon emissions are almost 1.2% higher than the amount of water consumed per day. These consumptions equate to the same amount as a city of about 60,000 people. And would you look at that? Vineland's is 60,782. According to the 2024 census, 2024 census said that we had 60,782 members of our community. Why would we ever want to double our emissions and water consumption annually? Certainly, it cannot be good for those that pay for it. To keep the town afloat, can it? I implore you all to vote no on this tax exemption on the Data One USA Center. I think that it would do good for not only your conscience, but your mental health. I also want to bring attention to the Trout National exemption and the Data One USA Center tax exemption. I want you to vote no. The Trout National facility is already proven environmentally destitute, as it has resulted in main breaks and flooding in front of residential housing on Hansbridge and Mays Landing Road, which is right where I live, off Sherman, causing further damage and extreme grief for anyone who lives there, for an attraction most of us will never use. Thank you.
Thank you. State your name. Where you live, sir?
Thank you. My name is Bailey Winder. I'm a resident of Mays Landing. I stand here tonight as a member of a community full of concerns and questions. More than 1,100 people have signed a public petition to Governor-elect Sherrill that I created, demanding transparency and answers on this data center project. And that number is growing by the day. Let me be clear about why. This process has failed to put the community first. I've spoken with dozens of families, farmers, and small business owners, and they all have the same message. Vineland is not for sale, and South Jersey is not for sale. People feel shut out, they feel ignored, and they feel like decisions are being made to benefit powerful corporations and not the people who actually live here. You were elected to serve the people of Vineland, not executives at billion-dollar corporations. This project may be underway, but that does not excuse what is happening now. a lack of transparency, an independent environmental review, and straight answers. Families are asking if their electricity bill is going to go up to subsidize a private data center. Farmers are asking if they'll need to drill deeper wells when water levels drop. Residents are asking if noise, heat, and environmental conditions are about to change at a huge scale. And what are they being told? Trust us? That's not good enough. Families here are already struggling with sky-high utility bills. And now they're being asked to shoulder the risk of a massive, power-hungry data center. Vineland has faced drought conditions for years, and this project sits on an aquifer that supplies drinking water and irrigation for a huge part of New Jersey. Here's what we, the people, see. When a massive corporation shows up, the red carpet gets rolled out. Tax breaks, fast approvals, even public loans. This is an all too familiar story. But when residents ask basic questions, shrugs, don't worry about it. That's why this petition exists. Not because people are anti-growth, but because people are pro-community. And let me quote a local farmer I spoke with. Every penny matters in farming, and the city is bending over backwards for this project. These corporations have got the money. Let them pay their fair share. The anger that you're hearing, that mistrust, it is for a reason. Transparency is not optional. Independent review is not optional. Protecting New Jersey taxpayers and ratepayers is not optional. If this project truly benefits the public, show the public. And now we're looking at a pilot program that results in a huge hit for funding for schools and other services. A sweetheart deal that does not surprise any of us. We demand answers. Because trust is not built by moving fast and explaining later. Trust is built by putting people first. And right now, that simply is not happening. Thank you.
Can he fix the mic for me?
Yes, he can.
Please and thank you. Thank you. My name's Diane Garrity. You've seen me before. You'll see me again. I'm going to depart a little bit from what everybody
And
else
are
is
you
talking
from
about.
Vineland?
I'm from Vineland. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I'm going to depart a little bit from what everybody else is talking about. I went to Millville City Council meeting. Millville is not aware of the effects that are going to happen to them because this is going to affect 12 counties. You're going to kill the water for a good part of South Jersey. And you didn't tell anybody. The other thing I wanted to ask, Millville City Council, the mayor and the vice mayor are present at every council meeting. And they answer you a little bit. They don't banter, but they will give you some answers. So I'd like to know, where is he? Because I've never seen him. Not since his kid graduated high school. Just saying. Aside from that, we just found out my grandson might have Fragile X. Fragile X did not exist when you and I were growing up. Neither did a lot of other things. There's already so much damage in the world, there is a good shot that if he has Fragile X or one of the other things they think he may have at 16 months old. Just took him to a heart doctor yesterday. Can you imagine what that's like? So a lot of these disorders, a lot of these conditions, a lot of these autoimmune disorders did not exist. I was born in 1968. It is 2026. Somebody has to take responsibility on protecting the environment. I don't know if you have grandchildren. I have 5. I do everything for my family. I do everything I can to support my family. I will now be visiting all these doctors with my daughter. You need to think about what you're doing. You really do. And we all know Mike Testa and Jeff Andrew was behind this mess. Every single one of us. And I also know that Terry Reese and Bailey Winder, right? Did I say your name right, Bailey? Wherever you are. Oh, hi.
Please speak to council. Thank you.
Sorry. Anyway, and Tim Alexander has also been here. All 3 of them are running against. I mean, they have to win the primary first. I'm voting for whoever the heck wins that primary. Because at least Mikey Sherrill gives a shit. Oh, sorry. Gives a hoot. I don't think you've really looked at this. And aside from that, I know Facebook has this weird algorithm. Ever since I've been tagging you in some of my posts, and ever since I've been sharing Sustain South Jersey's posts, I've been getting lawsuit posts where the city council was sued by the citizens, and they won for the AI data center. Not only did they sue the city, they sued each individual member, and they won. I have seen 15 lawsuits so far where that was the case. So if somebody decides to get together one of those, what do you call them, where everybody jumps on the bus, we're coming after you. We will sue you, and we will sue you individually. Please think about what you're doing.
Thank you. Please state your name and where you live.
Good evening, Nicole Petrangelo, Vineland resident. I'm here tonight to support my fellow residents whose concerns about the data center have not been addressed to date. Many residents, by their own account before this council, said they were shocked and angry when it was only through community organizing that they obtained details about the data center. Furthermore, resident after resident has shared fact-backed concerns about electric, water, environmental, and infrastructure impacts. At multiple council meetings now, residents have asked for transparency, clarity, and meaningful engagement. We were told we hear you, and that an information session or a Q&A with a developer would be forthcoming. However, to date, there has been no sustained effort to address residents' concerns, and public trust continues to erode. Here we are again, as council considers the pilot application for this project, which we were told didn't exist, on the agenda tonight. I'd like to share some information related to this agenda item plainly for my fellow residents. Data One is the developer of the facility. Data One is backed by a parent company, BSO, an established global infrastructure firm with an unofficial estimated revenue of tens of billions of dollars per year. The operating tenant of the facility is Nebius. Nebius is a publicly traded company with a current market capitalization also in the tens of billions per year. Nebius entered a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar agreement with Microsoft to supply dedicated AI infrastructure from the Vineland Data Center. I'd like to emphasize again, I've said billions each time, not millions. While all 3 entities have divisions and operations in the US, all originated in Europe. These are not struggling manufacturers or local startups. This project is backed by global capital and built for global AI companies. A pilot agreement in this is meant to help projects that would not happen otherwise or that would bring broad benefit to the public. Data One Vineland meets neither criteria. A pilot here is not an incentive, it's corporate welfare. Companies tied to a multi-billion-dollar contract with Microsoft worth tens of billions would pay significantly less in local taxes while our schools, infrastructure, roads, and families miss out. The salt in the wound here is that they would get these tax breaks without an environmental study or any process that demonstrates any answers to the public's concern. If you have any interest in avoiding further erosion of public trust, consider that it is fully up to the city to determine the use of public funds, and the public is asking for a clear explanation of how these funds will benefit residents. Without that, residents are left to assume the worst. For a picture of how this could go, in May 2025, the City of Princeton addressed this issue head-on by entering into a shared services agreement in which the town committed to directing pilot revenue to the schools. That resulted in an estimated contribution in the ballpark of $300,000 to $500,000 directly to the district's budget. The historic agreement was intended to ensure that pilot funds benefit public education rather than bypass it entirely. The citizens of Vineland are not opposed to progress, but progress must be pursued with empathy, with accountability, and with service to the citizens who elected you. Residents want projects that benefit the community, that protect our quality of life, and that do not prioritize global corporate interests at our expense. Another example of meaningful engagement occurred last night at a city council study session in Independence, Missouri. This is where Nebius has planned their next resource pillaging venture. Nebius's local attorney opened by expressing how excited he and the company were to be there. He noted that data center developers don't usually show up before the public this early in the process, and typically, if they do, it's in a take-it-or-leave-it sort of presentation. But he said Nebius is different. They're committed to good faith and transparency, so they broke script to offer this generous time to the public. Where was our study session? The public is not asking for some extreme measures here, simply reasonable local governance that I watched Independence, Missouri get last night via live stream. Help us get the public-facing information session we've been promised. Help us get an environmental impact study. Help us get real answers to our concerns. Ensure transparency around how the pilot funds are spent. Decline the pilot application until just one of these reasonable requests have been met. You can pin this whole thing on the mayor, the planning board, or the zoning board, but we elected you and your constituents are asking for your help and oversight. Council members, this issue remains a moment to show leadership, not just to hear us, but to act for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Please state your name, where you live.
Hi, my name is Terry Reese. I live in Northfield in Atlantic County. I'm a candidate for Congress in 2026.
Is this a campaign speech?
It is not a campaign speech. It's here to talk about...
Made it one as soon as you declared yourself.
All right.
But go ahead and speak. We'll give you your 5 minutes.
Awesome. Tonight you are considering two pilot tax break agreements, one for the Kronk-Curcio Realty and one for the Data One data center. These agreements would allow both of these companies to pay little to no property taxes on new construction for the first 5 years, even as the schools in Vineland, county services, and emergency responders receive no revenue from these new developments. For the Data One project alone, estimates suggest a loss of over $800,000 for Vineland schools. While you may argue that these incentives encourage development, the reality is that residents and small businesses are left footing the bill. These deals provide no guarantee of local jobs, wages, environmental protections, or community benefits, yet give private companies a significant windfall. It doesn't have to be this way. Other cities across the country have successfully revitalized their economies without giving away massive tax breaks. Chattanooga, Tennessee transformed its economy by investing in public infrastructure, including a municipal fiber network which attracted tech businesses and talent without having to sacrifice property tax revenue. Indianapolis, Indiana revitalized its downtown through strategic public investments in parks, public spaces, and cultural amenities, creating jobs and attracting development without heavy developer tax breaks. Smaller cities like Fargo, North Dakota, and Greenville, South Carolina, have grown by leveraging an educated workforce, affordable real estate, and quality of life improvements, again, without giving away the public's tax revenues. These examples show that development does not require shortchanging schools and services. Businesses can and should pay their fair share, contributing to the community that supports them. As has been stated multiple times since the December 9th meeting, Data One is partnered with Nebius, a multi-billion-dollar company. Vineland deserves growth that benefits its residents, strengthens our schools, and funds public services, not deals that prioritize corporate profit over community well-being. I urge you, City Council, to vote no on these pilot agreements and explore alternatives that truly work for the people of Vineland. Thank you.
Thank you. State your name and where you live, sir.
Hey, good evening, Council. I'm Zach Landesini. I live in Vineland, New Jersey.
Before I begin my statement tonight, I would like to bring to council's attention, as well as everyone listening tonight, that I have requested a meeting with the mayor to discuss what I'm speaking to now, and I've yet to hear anything back from him, so.
Zach, just to give you a heads up, I've spoken to the mayor about that, and he says there has been no phone call to his office.
There was an email to his secretary.
I will make sure he checks into that and sees, because his secretary.
He could give me a
does
call,
that.
too. I could give him my phone number.
Not a problem.
More than happy, or whatever. Okay. So at the last meeting, Mr. Tanetta called to the attention the fact that an environmental study was waived by the planning board due to no known hazardous material being used on site at the data center. There are several issues with this premise. Review of Cyclia documentation suggests a hole in this logic. For those unaware, Cyclia is the algae-based solutions company working with Data One to treat the exhaust coming off of the large Bergen engines being installed to partially power the data center. Specifically, the documentation specifies the use of hydrogen peroxide at unknown concentrations and volatile organic compounds in aqueous state. Under most definitions, these are hazardous materials. I suggest the mayor and the planning board reconsider the need for an environmental impact study before allowing development to continue and any additional funds are provided or agreements made. Also, at last meeting, Mr. Tanetta made broad generalized comments relating to the data center's water consumption. Rather than speculating, I believe it is more productive to focus on the facts of what the city knows regarding this matter. In June 2024, the Vineland Municipal Water Utility conducted a study intended to determine the water consumption of the facility. Key takeaways from this report are as follows. The developer did not provide any input to this study. As a result, all the derived values are rough estimates at best, but you take what you can get. The study estimates that a single data center building will consume 100,375,000 gallons of water per year. At the time this study was conducted, the author listed the server cooling method, discharge information, recycling, recirculating methods, number of servers, water monitoring and leak detection, fire pumps, and private hydrant requirements, and potential water use in the event of large-scale fires as unknowns. They didn't have the information to add it into their study. If server cooling methods and discharge information is unknown, how could the planning board determine there was no need for an environmental impact study? If they didn't have the documentation from Cyclia that specified that there were hydrogen peroxide being stored and used on site and VOCs in aqueous state, how could they make that judgment? The water study concludes with a call for a full-scale, 10-year engineering study with a full year-by-year detailed plan of the data center's water usage. The study states that claims of trade secrets, which were the rationale used by the developer to withhold information regarding the systems intended to be deployed, are not acceptable. To this date, this engineering study has not been conducted. Presently, no member of the city, county, or state government knows how much water this facility will consume. That's a fact. About a month ago, members of this city council told a chamber full of concerned citizens that you heard us and you were considering our concerns. I bring all of this up tonight to remind you that many of our concerns remain unresolved and many of us still feel unheard. As I have stated time and time again in these chambers, in conversations with my neighbors, and online, this developer intends to massively expand this development. Residents are concerned, and if you ask me, they have a right to be. Will the city government stand by and watch half of South Vineland turn into data centers and private power plants? I'm saying all of this tonight not to simply admonish the members of City Council, but to reinforce the urgency of the situation we as a city find ourselves in. As the developer expands this project, Vineland needs a city government capable of adequately scrutinizing the details and pushing back when necessary. Based on the information presented today and at prior council meetings, it is evident that this was not the case the first time around. Going forward, Vineland residents will be prepared and organized. Can the same be said about Vineland's municipal government? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to provide any information I can if the mayor could
Mr. Dickinson,
reach out to me.
will you get information from this gentleman? State your name, where you live, sir.
Yeah, my name's Victor Faust. I'm from Millville. I spoke here on the 23rd, and this is my first time speaking, at any city hall, and glad I came. Glad, my notions were heard for whatever sense they may or may not have been, but I felt it was good to turn out, just like a lot of people here did. After I spoke, I got linked up with a lot of people here, good group that's been going around called Sustain. You might have heard of them, you might have not, but you've definitely heard a lot of people here tonight, and I can tell you that they are not ignorant people. They do their homework, they do their research, and might be, maybe not for you guys, but I implore you to really listen to what they're saying. Afterwards, my video got posted online, and it kind of went viral a little bit, which is kind of funny, first time in my life. And, one of the comments I got, somebody asked why Mike Trout was catching strays. And, I didn't want to elaborate that at the time, but due to this pilot program, again, these people have done their research, and we see that Trout National Reserve is on the pilot program. So one of my questions is, in what capacity is this golf course getting tax subsidies that we don't know about? Are they also linked up with this data center somehow that we don't know about? But that's neither here nor there, and I'm not going to harp on the environmental impact again. You've heard all about that tonight, and guess what? You're going to keep hearing about it, because people are going to keep showing up time and time again. They're going to keep voicing their concerns, as they have every right to do, and I hope you're going to listen. What I mainly want to talk about is there's more damaging things going on with AI, and it hasn't been mentioned yet, and I really feel the need to. And this is something that I've felt very strongly about even before this year started. I don't know if you're familiar with the company Palantir, but last year, the president contracted them to build a national database on every citizen, which will be then shared in between agencies. It's kind of like the Patriot Act, but a lot deeper, a lot scarier. Now, the war against AI, that's a long uphill battle, and it's not going anywhere. But right now, there's a different war in this country against its citizens with an agency called ICE, and they are currently using AI, and they're going to keep using AI. And it doesn't matter if you're brown or you're black or if you're legal or not, because right now they don't care. We've already seen they murdered Renee Good last week. They murdered Keith Porter the year before, or the month before, and they murdered over 30 plus people last year alone. They don't care. And I'm not asking you if you agree with it or if you support it or not. I'm asking you, are you really willing to take your citizens' tax dollars? Because I'll admit, it's not my tax dollars, right? I don't live in Vineland. I live in Millville. And I spoke to Millville City Council last week, and they assured us that no AI data center was coming because, our grid's too small. But we've seen from what's happening with Data One, they've got these mega generators, so they might be off-grid at some point. What I'm asking is, are you willing to take your citizens' tax dollars and perpetuate the illegalities that are going to constantly going? Because I'm going to tell you, desperate people, they never stay desperate forever. So, are you in or are you in the way? Because one day you'll be voted out, and like everybody else here has said, do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? Whether we're talking about the environmental impacts, the economic impacts, or just the social impacts, all right? This country is on the brink of something big, all right? I've been educating the public as a living historian and a World War II reenactor for the better part of 25 years. I've done it all over the country. What we're seeing right now is very blatantly paralleling to what is happening between 1933 and 1939. And I'm telling you, they're going to use AI as a technology all around to go after every single person. 2 weeks after Charlie Kirk was murdered, they released something called the NSPM-7, and it was their reclassification of what they consider domestic terrorism. If you are anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-Trump, they don't care. They're going to come for you one way or another. I'm afraid for my citizens, all right? Of all colors, of all documentations, or anything. I don't mess with ICE. I don't mess with any police force that helps them, and I definitely don't mess with any city that takes the tax dollars from their people and goes to anything that will help that. Personally, if it gets to a bad point, maybe people should just stop paying their local taxes. Stop paying your federal taxes. Just stop doing it all in general if it gets to be that bad. Because then guess what? You won't have any money to give these billionaires. And to go back to Mike Trout, he wants to act like a hometown hero. Yeah, cool, man. Cool, dog. You gave money to Millville High School. Good for you. But you want to act like a hometown hero? Well, then, put your money where your actual mouth is and actually help the people. Thanks.
Thank you. State your name, please, where you live.
My name is Adele Faust. I live in Millville. That was my husband. I like him a lot. I just want to remind you of one little thing that we haven't really talked about tonight in all of this AI. In case you're sitting up there thinking that these people just don't understand, there's going to be benefits, they just don't see them yet. Just want to remind you that AI in general, and generative AI specifically, is not a profitable industry. Even OpenAI has barely made back 1% of what they have spent to get their industry on the ground. Barely 1%. So these might be multi-billion-dollar companies that can afford to pay taxes, so we don't need to take that away from them. We can give them the opportunity for sure. They might be multi-billion-dollar companies, but you can ask Andy Wu from the Harvard Business School. AI is a bubble, and bubbles burst. So by the time this 5-year pilot program is up, and you've destroyed our water, taken money away from our schools, taken sleep away from your citizens, taken credibility away from yourselves, and our trust in your position, those buildings could be empty, and you will get nothing. The city will get nothing. The community will get nothing. We will be left holding the bill for all of it, and we will have seen no benefit. So why? Why? If they have the money, make them pay it. Why ask us to pay for a multi-billion-dollar company? You just heard from, I believe it was Nicole, that these companies aren't based in New Jersey. Some of them aren't even based in the US. So these people don't have houses here where they're paying property taxes. They don't have businesses here where they're contributing to the economy. All they have is this big cement block that is just going to take and take and take. And at the end of this pilot program, where they have taken everything that they can get from us, we and you will have nothing. Are these people worth nothing? Are they? If it was me sitting up there and you talking to me, would you be asking me, am I worth nothing? I don't live in Vineland. I live in Millville, but I live really, really close to where this data center is going. If I want to go get pizza, I have to drive by it. So people who aren't even going to get anything at all in Millville because they're not part of your municipality, now you're telling them that they are worth nothing. So if you like throwing your money away, go ahead. Just remember, it's really not your money. It's theirs. They're going to run out of it if you keep doing this. And are those billionaires at their houses in Europe worth it? Are we all worth nothing? Thank you.
Thank you. Please, where you live?
Yes, sir. I'm Michael Atkinson. I live in Vineland. And I'd say let's learn a little bit about pilot programs in the state of New Jersey tonight. New Jersey's payment in lieu of taxes, aka its pilot program, was designed as a mutual benefit to both developers and municipalities to entice development in areas in need of either redevelopment or rehabilitation. The program aims to support the redevelopment of local municipalities through commercial, residential, office, and industrial development, providing updates to underutilized or dilapidated properties and thereby increasing the rateable base within these municipalities. The developers benefit by receiving a property tax exemption during the life of the agreement on the overall improvements of the property. Land value is still subject to property taxes. In lieu of this, the developer would be responsible for paying an annual pilot payment, which is defined in the agreement. This pilot payment is generally lower than the property tax amounts, helping to improve the net operating income of the developer and in turn encouraging them to enhance the property and raise its fair market value. So we have before us Data One with a $293 million mortgage provided to them by Nebius, a multi-billion-dollar company, to build out this facility, and an additional $6 million loan from the city. $299 million, and these folks need a tax break. Is a project not viable otherwise? If they can't make a project viable with a $300 million budget in the current AI boom market, then perhaps they have no business in pursuing the project. Did the city court this project, or was it brought to them unsolicited by the developer? And what's the timeline here? If the city promised a pilot agreement at the outset of the project, why wasn't it brought to a vote then to assure the abatement and to make certain the project was financially viable? I don't do my budgeting on hopes and dreams. Now, they have a right to apply for an abatement per solicitor tenetta, same as any business, but no business has the divine right to receive said abatement. At this stage, Data One is built, at this point, stage one of Data One is built and operational. And that's what they're asking for the abatement for. Now, are they going to abandon ship if the pilot is not granted? And not to digress too much, but a pilot agreement for Trout National as well, a private golf course, what's he going to do, move it to Millville? Now, you tell us we compete with places like Swedesboro for development and investment. Is that true in the case of these two projects? Did we just offer such a sweet deal that they had to come here? Well, lucky us. Or are we just willing to give it all away? You tell us it's private property and it's too late to do anything. Is it too late to speak on this? What's the point of public comment? Is it ever influential with City Council? Now, we had a speaker last meeting come out in support of the project, as is his right. And of course he would come down on the side of extractive capital accumulation at the expense of the community. It would be negligent if he did not. He has over $500 million under management through his investment firm. The only thing driving our current stock market is technology stocks boosted by AI investment. Maybe I'll get to live through another once-in-a-lifetime financial crash. It'll be like my fourth or fifth. I'm 42. Now, there are entities that stand to make incredible returns on their investment here, but it's not going to be us. And if anything, people in this country will be left holding the bag. So we might as well advocate for full, proper, and prudent taxation on these projects. And you'll have to forgive me if I'm not particularly compelled to fulfill the vision that Charles K. Landis had for the city of Vineland. He did murder the editor of the local newspaper and was found not guilty by reason of temporary insanity. Maybe someone not to ascribe inalienable virtue to, but that's just my opinion. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Name, please, where you live.
I'm Larry from Vineland. I've been here a lot. I do want to point out the police and security presence is just a little much. I'm going to go through my experiences with the city council so far and the many times I visited here because I think this is one sick joke. My first time I came down here, I was lied to and promised an email. The second time I came down here, I brought up my concerns, was forgotten about the email I was supposed to receive over a month ago, and lied to again, and then called an asshole. The next time I came down, there was a weak apology, and I was pulled to the side by Mr. Spinelli, where he pulled me to the side and actually did apologize to me. I'll give him that, but he lied to me again. Last time I was here, I got to watch Pat come up here, and as Mr. Spinelli worked for him, Pat, the mayor's friend, come talk about how good the data center is going to be for us. After lying, too. He didn't know what kind of data center he was talking about. I don't know if you noticed that. He quoted Theodore Roosevelt and Charles Landis, who Theodore Roosevelt was the reason we have like national parks. So I don't think he'd be very happy with something coming to a community and tearing apart its, ecosystem. Charles Landis just wanted trains and farms, so I don't know how a data center would apply to Charles Landis. I met Mike Testa at the Millville City Council. He seems to be Vineland's golden child. I think he's really just a silver spoon-fed brat. I brought up that he supported the data center to his face, and he got up in my face and called me a moron and dumb. He didn't point at anything about not supporting it, though. So now I realize how much of a sick joke this all is. I'm just going to go one by one. Dr. Arthur, do you have any financial involvement in the data center, including stocks in Nebius?
Council's not going to respond. As you know.
Mr. Gomez, do you have stocks in Nebius? Mr. Spinelli, do you hold stocks in Nebius? Mr. English, do you hold stocks in Nebius? And Mr. Vargas, do you hold stocks in Nebius? Because I know for a fact that city officials were given a heads up this data center was coming, and they bought stocks in Nebius. I know for a fact where this money's going to go, and it's going to go to new city take-home vehicles. For all of you that are pissed off about the police, a lot of the city officials have take-home vehicles. So are we just going to is this going to ever become a real thing, or are we just going to all get up in the morning, put on those suits, and pretend that we give a shit about this city? You can go ahead, bang the gavel. You want to bang the gavel, throw me out. You want to throw me out.
Larry.
No. My time. That says
Watch
Larry.
the language, please. That's all I'm asking you.
I said like 6 curse words the other time I spoke, and the gavel didn't get banged once.
And it's not going to happen again. Thank you.
Okay. Another one I wanted to bring up, I guess since we all know this data centers, so unfortunately we're just going to give them lieu of taxes, because why the hell would we give a shit about people of Vineland? The Puerto Rican Festival, they just raised the prices for that. I guess Jack Chittarelli coming down to talk about diversity is not a draw anymore. I was going to ask you, Mr. Gomez, do you go to True North? That's a question. You don't. Okay, people think you go to True North. I was just wondering. I don't know. I was just going to burn the last 2 minutes. I think this is just like disgusting. Like I was gonna sit here and write up a speech again and pretend and like get all the stats out and care, and I realize City Council doesn't give a damn. But I will thank Mr. Spinelli from excusing me from having to listen to Mr. Tenetta give the speech. A more serious topic that I really do, I know it's kind of a fixation of my own. It's not the data center, but it's True North. Mr. Spinelli told me that it's freedom of religion. And I have to ask do you know that freedom of religion also applies to children? Freedom of religion applies to everybody. When somebody comes in your community and they want you to just follow their religion, and only their religion, and it seems like Vineland only wants one religion with the way they treated the mosque, I think it's a little screwed up. I got 1 minute. I'm just going to tell a personal story why I'm so against True North. I didn't come from Vineland. I've been here about 7 years. I grew up in Collins Lakes, New Jersey, and my mom, who is a wonderful person who spoke so many times, our house kind of became the house. If you had problems at home, if you had parents that were neglecting you, one of the most common things was a kid coming to our house because their parents didn't like them because they were gay or that they were trans. And I really, really, really hope that once True North is finished and you throw all your citizens underneath the bus, and you allow this toxic, cancerous place that's just a cult, let's be honest. I watched the guy speak. I wasted like 6 hours of my life watching his sermons. That guy would love to give everybody Kool-Aid and put them underneath a blanket. I really hope those kids find something like my mom's porch one day.
Time's up, Larry. Thank you.
I really hope those kids find a porch one day, like my mom, or they find somebody like my mom, because the city does not give a shit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State your name, sir,
Steve
and where you
Bork.
live. I'm sorry.
From Vineland.
Last name, sir? I'm sorry.
Bork.
Okay.
I guess I don't have to say anything more on transparency. I think that has pretty much destroyed this project, the lack of transparency. With it as volatile as this subject has been around the country, I would have thought you would have flooded this community with information about this project. At the last meeting, the counselor, solicitor, gave a few responses, and one of the responses he addressed was the water issue, and that there was a new technology that was going to minimize or mitigate how much water use. So because there's not much information, or at least I'm not, I went and Googled it, and there is some pretty fantastic technologies they can use, but unfortunately, I don't know if any of them are going to be used on this project. Again, lack of information, lack of transparency. One of them is a fantastic heat transfer. They can capture that heat that everybody's worried about, that so much water needs to be used to dissipate. But I don't know where it would go. One use could be greenhouses for farmers. Is that on the table? Again, I don't know. We should be getting, we should be getting more from these people than we're given. And that's the big issue for me too. And again, no information on what's going to be returned. If they get this abatement, what's going to be our return on that? What do we get back from that? What's the revenues going to be on that property 5 years from now? We don't know. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what it's going to be worth, giving up all that land and all those taxes. I don't know. So, and there's two other pieces of infrastructure that I think might be impacted besides the electricity and the water. And that is the gas. About 3 or 4 years ago, I go up and down Lincoln Avenue fairly frequently, and I saw them putting in, I think it was like a 10-inch gas line. And I thought to myself, that is one big gas line. So I started asking around, what's that? Why could we need, who would need that much gas? Well, some people said it was going to go down to the shore to feed the shore communities. I thought, oh, okay. But now I figure it's probably to feed the gas turbine generators. I mean, I got to guess because I don't know. And so that's a piece of infrastructure. We worry about how much it's going to put pressure on our electric grid. What's it going to do to our natural gas availability and the price of it? And the other infrastructure is the data transmission. Is that a current? Are they adding fiber, or are they adding to the distribution of data throughout the city? What's that going to? Because I'm sure they're going to need everything that's available. And that's all I have. And speaking of getting things from them, do you think you could get them to fix Lincoln Avenue and put it back to the way they found it for me, please?
State your name, please, where you live.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jen Hanley, and I am from Vineland. And I'm sorry I forgot my reading glasses, so I have to hold this close to my face. Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking you all for your willing. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hold on.
Kathy, sorry.
Let him fix the microphone.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not a loud person by nature. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking you all for your willingness to serve our great city in a public office. I recognize that it is a big job and you're faced with hard decisions daily. I'm sure that when this project was proposed and pushed forward, that you all supported it with the best of intentions. I also believed in this project at the beginning, and I even bought stock in Nebius. However, after doing more research and giving it a lot more thought, I've come to realize that this is a potential disaster for our environment and infrastructure. Thus, I would like to express my disapproval for the data center. You are, for all intents and purposes, the guardians of our city, our people, our children, and our public resources. The push to move forward with a project that will and is already negatively impacting our community and our water supply is not in alignment with responsible leadership. Within the last month, the proposed data center projects in Chandler, Arizona have been shut down due to public outcry. I encourage you as your neighbor, your colleague, and your friend to please withdraw your support for this project. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Please state your name and where you live.
Evening, Council. Matt Williams. I'm from Vineland. Everyone's already said what I think I would normally say. Guy I had a question for actually just walked out of the room. Legal department added a resolution tonight. When I first spoke, I brought up a trend going around the nation, concerns from our regional grid explaining upgrades and pull off of the facilities here. At 12:30 today, it seemed like he added a resolution that you guys will be, I'm assuming, voting yes on. They're asking for 50 megawatts of power off of the Atlantic City electric grid, and there will be a study done that'll be reimbursed by the contractor of the project that's been a hot topic tonight. My specific question is, why was it added today? I called on Friday to receive an agenda packet because we, as a community, want to be informed of what is going on here. It's really that simple. But I had to call. I had to call after the first week when it was explained to me after your work sessions. It's posted. The full packet is posted the day after. So I waited patiently. Waited. It did not. I called Friday. So this lack of transparency, it begins to make me question, is it just a lack or is it an incompetence? I mean, it's ridiculous. We're asking questions. We want answers. We have our own answers based off of our questions that we research. And instead, we have to hear that we got to compete with Swedesboro. Like, Swedesboro, it's a population of not even 3,000. There's 60,000 people in Vineland. 69 square miles of a city that I grew up in. I've grown up in every single part. I used to jump my fence and walk to Landis Avenue. I used to live out of my car on West Avenue. I used to live on friends' couches in East Vineland. I've lived in townhomes. I've lived in every inch of this city. And we are angry that a project like this, nobody can be forthcoming about it other than the research that the community has to do. We look in Missouri last night. Man, it was already explained. They went up, they talked. They talked about everything we're talking about. He's also the director of law. Welcome back. You said that you had no jurisdiction over like the planning solicitor or anything. You're the guy, man. You're the guy. You look at the legal department. It's your name on there. So in a question of like anything that anybody can do and what you have a say in, you have a lot, man. But these are the questions now because I've exhausted my candle at both ends, understanding the technical aspects of this that we won't have answers for. We won't. We're not going to get them. By the time we get them, the thing's going to be up and running to any scale that we were never really proposed. And that's just a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I love this city. I could have moved to Florida 12 years ago. Free ride. I chose not to. Because I love the year. I love the community. I love the people. I love the diversity of it. And what you guys are doing is not a justice to us. Not one bit. It's not. We're asking questions. We don't want to hear a 12-minute diatribe of just circling answers on how everything was legally followed. Most of the times, in my experience, if your best explanation is that it was legally followed, I don't know. Use your judgment there. But thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Jeff Lindsay. I'm from the iconic city of Vineland. I'm going to switch it up the energy a little bit here. For all my good white people that came out tonight, welcome to the party. That's all I'd like to say. All right? We've been talking this talk for so long in our communities about how, you know, the justice system and everything has not been working in our favor. So I'm just glad to see that you guys welcome to the party. Before ICE, it was just the police. Remember, George Floyd got killed right in that same city that the lady got killed in, right? Right now, it's a lot of issues that's on the table. AI just didn't get here. We also have artificial ingredients, right? This is poisoning us too. So we can lobby about all the diabetes and the healthcare and all this type of stuff. So it's a lot of different things and angles we can go with this. But for us to sit here, right, because we want to see things get done. So obviously right now what I'm hearing is the data center is coming up whether we like it or not. Now how can we move forward with this? With the help of City Council, right? If you can invest $6 million into to help the data center, then you should be able to help us too as the citizens of Cumberland County. So maybe we don't need $6 million, right? Maybe we can have $3 million that we can put onto a recreational center, right? Maybe we can invest, I don't know, $500,000 into the research on all these people's good concerns. Because right now, while we're wasting time with this, guess what? America is crumbling right in front of our eyes, right? So let's not focus on what they can do for us, what we can do for ourselves, right? Not ask what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? So this is what we want to do, in the great words of John F. K. So what we can do, because right now, too, right in this iconic city of Vineland, kids can't even go to school. It's pedophiles. Not too long ago was trying to pick up a girl, right? Right here in Bridgeton is a guy that just got charged with sexually assaulting a kid that he met playing Roblox on social media. You say you're from Millville. Millville is one of the worst in the county on drugs, violence, and all of that. So we all can stand together as one for all different causes. So this is what I would propose to all of us. Instead of coming in here and we all saying the same thing or what's wrong, now why don't we get something organized and we put it in the proper language or, you know, the proper procedures and see how they can actually help us for all your concerns. Because if, like I said, if you have money to invest into the data center, you should have some money to invest in your community. And thank you guys. And guess what? I'm not here to talk about anyone bad because guess what? Velez, what are we doing over at the Housing Authority? Remember, it's some old people right now, right here in the iconic city of Vineland, who can't even go outside of their house because all type of things are going on, whether it's drugs, whatever's going on in their neighborhood. There's mold that they're living in. So all these people are concerned about the effects of the data center. There's some things still affecting us all across the board. Guess what? Give you another fun fact. Humanity is under attack. Jobs will be getting out of here. Why? Because they're going to have self-checkout, self-everything. So let's go. Let's stop sitting here and wasting their time and ours, because if we're saying they're not listening, then why are we still talking? Remember, talk is cheap. Action is the key. And so if you're an activist, we have to lead with action. And us calling you names, that's not going to get anywhere. You calling us names, that's not going to get anywhere. If we're against each other, then guess what? Are we even Americans? I think that's what we all have in common right here, that we're all Americans. And if we all want the best for America, we all have to step up as Americans. So let's come up with solutions. I'm willing to work with anybody to find solutions. I don't know too much about the data center, but thanks for my friend Angela from her page. I'm learning more. But I'm just trying to tell all my good white people, the party has been already going on, okay? Where I'm from, I've been going through this. I've been preaching to the choir. So let's all get together and see how we can overcome this, all right? Because guess what? God is watching everybody. So let's put him first. Let's pray on this. And then I think we can come with a solution. Thank you for your time. God bless everybody.
You too. State your name, please, where you live.
I am Helen, and I live in Vineland, New Jersey.
I came tonight to speak on behalf of the senior citizens, and I'm one of them. And I live in a development where there's 80, 90-year-old women that have no clue on what is going on. And I hurt for them. I feel their pain, and I don't know what to tell them because I keep coming to these meetings thinking to myself, now, what about the water usage? God doesn't give us an infinite amount of water. When the water's all used up, what are we going to drink? What are we going to, what are we going to cook with? What are we going to? It's just insane how much stuff is going on that we have no answers to. And I'm a little bit vocal when it comes to the neighbors, and everyone keeps asking me, and I'm trying to get more and more people to come to these meetings to get more informed, but they don't want to come out in the dark because they don't want to come to Vineland in the dark because they're afraid. I can't rent a bus and pick everybody up and bring them here. So I'm just asking, okay, that if you guys, all right, are going ahead with this project, could you figure out how we can make more water? Because there is no way. The same thing with land. I was told once that Vineland has a lot of land and never to give it up because you can't buy any, you can't make land. So the fact of the matter is we lost 37 acres to this AI infrastructure and we'll never be able to get it back. And it's doing us absolutely iota good, okay? But I'm just wanting to let you know that there's a lot of people that can't come to these meetings because they have no way of getting to these meetings, and they're so uninformed, half of them didn't even know what the thing was going up. When this AI thing started, okay, we thought it was a part of the golf course, and then the walls went up, and then the cranes came, and then we're starting to come to these meetings because we didn't know what was going on. I don't want to keep reiterating and saying the same thing over and over again, but I'm glad I'm as old as I am because I don't want to have to be around when everything starts falling apart from doing this, okay? And I'm sure that the 80, 90-year-old ladies that I know and I talk to, they're just waiting, okay, to have this thing built, and they're talking about getting it nuclear bombed, and we're going to be obliterated so we won't have to worry about any of this. Okay, this is the capacity. I mean, this is the way that these people think. You're going to put up this big data center, and we're a target now. You're putting an infrastructure up that's 37 acres. So if someone was going to plan a nuclear war, wouldn't they pick a 37-acre infrastructure? So it's something to think about. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. State your name, please, where you live.
Hi, Tara Barden, Vineland resident, 14 years. Oh, can you hear me now? AT&T. What? Sorry. There's one thing that has been skipped over multiple times that has been the main excuse why this has just pushed through so fast, and that is, well, there was things printed in the paper. The things that were printed in the paper were for a paid paper in one of the poorest communities area. Do you think that the large amount of people in this area are going to pick a newspaper over food for their kids? That's not going to happen. The homeless community is growing. It's not just what you're doing to this environment. These are my friends. These are my neighbors. These are my family. I grew up here. Millville, that's where I grew up, right next door. You know, I worked with special needs kids. That's my life. And you put this data center around all these schools. 3- and 4-year-olds right around the corner at Child Family Center. It specifically says air quality damage to these kids and their lungs. This is something that I'm passionate about, and it upsets me. because it's something my son specifically struggles with, and that's air quality issues. So I pay attention to the air quality reports, and I've noticed, specifically the past year and a half, that the air quality has gotten worse in this area, especially with nitrogen and fine particulate matter that is a main pollutant coming from these data centers. And you put it right around all these kids. Families, friends, neighbors, our food, our farms. That's our food, that's our water. That's all I have.
Thank you. That it? More? Please state your name and where you live.
Hello, my name is Megan Biondi. I'm from Mays Landing, New Jersey. I recently found out about this AI data center. My mother lives in Vineland. My father lives in Millville. I'm a member of an organization called Indivisible. It seems like a lot of people have done their research today, and it is awesome. This is my first impression of you all as human beings and as individuals. I implore you to think about your actions, about your decisions, and about the effect that it is going to have on your community. What are you getting out of this? What are you getting out of it? Is it going to benefit the people of Vineland or the surrounding towns? I also want to say that data centers have been stopped. People will continue to organize. There are activists here in this room who, again, have done their research, and we will continue to organize and to fight this. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
RJ Franceschini from Vineland. I was just coming up to ask, I know last meeting we had talked about a town hall meeting, if that was something that was still on for this month. I'm sure the public would love to know. As a member of the press, I would love to give out that information. So, yeah, if there's any development on that, again.
As soon as we get a date, you'll get it.
Classic. Thank you.
That's all I can tell you. Okay, I need a motion to take a 5-minute recess.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
We'll be in recess for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to reopen the meeting. We need roll call, please.
Roll call, Dr. Arthur.
Here.
Councilmember English.
Here.
Councilmember Vargas.
Here.
Vice President Gomez.
Here.
President Spinelli.
Here.
I'll close the public
Need a
comment.
motion to close the public session?
So move.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Mr. President, I present ordinance number 2025-93, an ordinance authorizing a pilot agreement for project tax exemption for various applicants, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-93 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Anyone in the audience wish to speak on ordinance number 2025-93? Seeing no one, Chair entertains a motion in public hearing on ordinance number 2025. Excuse me. Would you like to speak? Come up again. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number, the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-93 be closed.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-93 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Any discussion by council? Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-93, an ordinance authorizing a pilot agreement for project tax exemption for various applicants. With a vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Cheddar, please submit ordinance number 2025-93 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes. I present ordinance number 2025-94, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a contract of sale and other documents necessary for the joint acquisition with the CCIA of vacant land for the development of a youth sports facility. This will be continued.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-94 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
This
No,
is going
we're
to
gonna
continue.
continue it.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
And President Spinelli.
Yes. Anyone in the audience like to be heard on ordinance number 2025-94? Seeing no one, Chair entertain a motion to continue the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-94.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Mr. President, I present ordinance number 2025-95, ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain industrial property to the Vineland Industrial Commission pursuant to NJSA 48:12-13 subsection B for $1 and execution of a recoverable grant, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-95 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2025-95? Seeing no one, Chair entertains a motion the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-95 be closed.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-95 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Councilmember English.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-95, ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain industrial property to the Vineland Industrial Commission pursuant to NJSA 48:12-13 subsection B for $1 and execution of a recoverable grant. With a vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2025-95 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes. We move to 97. Mr. President, I present ordinance number 2025-97, ordinance amending ordinance 2004-25 as amended entitled an ordinance adopting the Center City redevelopment plan consistent with Resolution 5203 of the Planning Board of the City of Vineland so as to allow a single-family home to be converted to a specialized automobile repair garage at 1316 West Landis Avenue, Block 2707, Lot 16, consistent with Resolution 6739 of the Planning Board, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-97 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2025-97? Seeing no one, Chair entertains a motion the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-97 be closed.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-97 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-97, ordinance amending ordinance 2004-25 as amended, entitled an ordinance adopting the Center City redevelopment plan consistent with Resolution 5203 of the Planning Board of the City of Vineland, so as to allow a single-family home to be converted to a specialized automobile repair garage at 1316 West Landis Avenue, Block 2707, Lot 16, consistent with Resolution 6739 of the Planning Board. With a vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2025-97 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes. Present ordinance 2025-98, ordinance amending ordinance 96-4 as amended, Chapter 425, Article 6, Section 425-66 of the Code of the City of Vineland entitled Procedure for Preliminary Site Plan Approval in accordance with Resolution 6675 of the Code of the City Planning Board, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains the motion that ordinance number 2025-98 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2025-98? Seeing no one, Chair will entertain a motion the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-98 be closed.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-98 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Discussion by council. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-98. Ordinance amending Ordinance 96-4 as amended, Chapter 425, Article 6, Section 425-66 of the Code of the City of Vineland entitled Procedure for Preliminary Site Plan Approval in accordance with Resolution 6675 of the Code of the City of Vineland Planning Board. With a vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2025-98 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes. Present ordinance 2025-99, ordinance authorizing the qualified purchasing agent of the City of Vineland to award certain contracts without the necessity of action of the governing body and establishing a bid threshold as may be amended from time to time in accordance with NJSA 48:11-3C, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-99 be taken up for public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2025-99? Seeing no one, Chair entertains a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-99 be closed.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2025-99 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So move. Second.
Discussion. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Vice President Gomez.
Yes.
President Spinelli.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-99, ordinance authorizing the qualified purchasing agent in the City of Vineland to award certain contracts without the necessity of action of the governing body and establishing a bid threshold as may be amended from time to time in accordance with NJSA 48:11-3C, which vote of 5 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2025-99 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes. Mr. President, I present ordinance number 2026-1, which is ready for first reading.
Chair entertains a motion ordinance number 2026-1 be taken up for first reading.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-1, ordinance for the purchase of 440 West Landis Avenue, Block 2902, Lot 13, for $50,000 even.
Chair entertains a motion in ordinance number 2026-1 be passed for a first reading, that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m.
So move. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Present ordinance number 2026-2, which is ready for first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-2 be taken up for first reading.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-2, an ordinance establishing a 4-ton weight limit for Rick Terrace.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-2 be passed for first reading, that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m.
So move. Second.
Discussion by council. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Present ordinance number 2026-3, which is ready for first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-3 be taken up for first reading.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-3, an ordinance authorizing pilot agreements for project tax exemption for various applicants.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-3 be passed for first reading, that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m.
So move. Second.
Discussion. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
I present ordinance number 2026-4, which is ready for first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-4 be taken up for first reading.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2026-4, ordinance amending ordinance 2012-62 as amended, Chapter 157, Article 3 of the Code of the City of Vineland, entitled Salaries and Compensation.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-4 be passed for first reading, that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m.
So move. Second.
Discussion by council. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Present ordinance number 2026-5, which is ready for first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-5 be taken up for first reading.
So move. Second.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2026-5, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2026-5 be passed for first reading, that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m.
So move. Second.
Discussion by council. Seeing none.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes.
City Council has approved that the following matters listed below in the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial and be adopted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed and considered with an individual vote. All matters of the consent agenda have been presented to City Council during either a work session or pre-meeting conference and appear on the consent agenda without objection. Their titles will not be read individually into the record, but will be properly memorialized in the meeting minutes.
Chair entertains a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
So move. Second?
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Spinelli?
Yes. Floor. Dr. Arthur.
I want to thank the students from Dane Barcy for coming tonight, and also congratulations to the retirees. Thank you.
Councilman Vargas.
Yes, echo that same thing. To congratulate both retirees today and the kids from Dan Barcy.
Councilman English.
Nothing at this time.
Nothing at this time. I don't have anything either. Chair will entertain a motion to move to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Councilmember English?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President